So I decided to do a quiz over atoms and molecules. So if we look right here, it says the directions. So the directions state, read each question thoroughly. After reading, select the answer that you feel best fits the question. Once you are finished taking the quiz, click submit. And so I'm actually logged in to the Google Forms on my Chrome web browser. So if I flip over to Safari and then I just paste in the URL to the quiz, this is what students would see if they were taking the Google quiz that I've created. So, like I just mentioned, they will also see the directions. And then if we look to the right hand side in the margins, it will tell them point values for each different question. So the first question here, what is an atom? They would go ahead and read through these different options, hopefully select the correct answer. Same thing, what is a molecule? How many total atoms in H2O? What is the term for a negatively charged particle? Positively charged particle, and so on. For time's sake, I won't read through each question, but you get the gist. So they would just fill it in, multiple choice bubbles. Okay, so then they will click submit once they have finished taking the quiz, right? So it says your response has been recorded. Immediately they are able to view their score. So here's the total points that I've received. All right. So right up here, it would tell them they received blank out of 9. And then it will tell them what they got correct. And if they didn't get something correct, then it would also tell them the correct answer. And that's just kind of nice, right? It gives them immediate feedback, which is really, really great, especially for formative assessments, because if you administer a quiz to a student and they do not get feedback, then it makes studying pretty difficult because they don't know if they understand the material or if they do not understand the material. So if we go back to the Google Chrome in which I'm logged in to the Google Forms, I'm able to view different responses that I have received from my Google Forms quiz. So if we look up here, I can see that I received 9 responses. And so this is person 1. It says 1 of 9, meaning this is the first person that has taken the quiz. And I can scroll through and see if they missed anything, and I can see all their responses. I want to see person 2. So I can see that someone missed this question. It's located right here. And as I mentioned earlier, it states the correct answer was 3. The student will also see this if they got this answer wrong, which is really great, as I mentioned, for that direct feedback. So you can keep scrolling through all 9 students. I can see a summary of the scores, which is wonderful. And it shows a little bar graph right here, which is really nice because it allows me to see what questions that students are struggling with, which would help me make more specific and direct lesson plans in the future, because I can cover material or content that students are struggling with, and then I can kind of omit or cover less thoroughly content that they're already very familiar and comfortable with. So I can definitely see myself using this in the future just because of that immediate feedback that students can get from using this Google Forms. They're able to kind of understand what they have a grasp on, and they're able to view the correct answers to questions that perhaps they missed, which is very wonderful for students to study from. I also think that this is great for kind of to monitor student progress so that I can always be altering or adding to lesson plans just to make sure that students are really receiving a lesson that is fitted to their needs and will ultimately add to their success rather than covering content or material that they are just familiar with. It's almost like it allows the teacher to not waste class time covering content that students are familiar with. So I definitely feel I will be using this in the future in future classes because it's very versatile. I can also use this in any content area, which is wonderful.